Welcome to StartupHakk. I'm Spencer Thomason, and here at StartupHakk, we love training software developers and building custom software solutions. I do a lot of work as a fractional CTO. With over a decade of executive leadership experience and a solid 25 years in software development, I've mastered the art of transforming technology teams and products. So startups provide a unique environment where learning happens at an accelerated pace. Unlike established companies or huge corporations, startups require employees to wear multiple hats and adapt quickly to new changes. This hands-on experience fosters a deeper understanding of various aspects of business. At CleanRouter and with some of my other companies, I've learned that in the first year, I learned more in the first year than I did at 5 years in a larger company. Steve Jobs believes that this kind of immersive learning is invaluable for personal and professional growth. So let's dive into some of those reasons today. All right. So Steve Jobs was a huge fan of startups. Obviously, he started his own startup, Apple, in a garage. Him and Steve Wozniak worked together to build the first Apple I, and it was the first, one of the first main home PC computers. Now, I've learned a lot in the time that I've run businesses, and part of it is that I thought I'd always want to just stay with technology, but I've actually found that I really enjoy business. And so as I've launched my first company that I launched was CleanRouter, which is where we build content filtering routers for parents. If you haven't ever heard of it, go check it out at cleanrouter.com. We still sell lots of them. I've learned more in the first year starting CleanRouter than I did in actually almost 15 years working in the corporate world. Now, Steve Jobs really believed that this kind of immersive learning is invaluable for personal and professional growth. So some of the advantages you get is flexibility and agility. Startups are inherently flexible and agile, allowing them to pivot quickly in response to market demands. This adaptability fosters innovative mindsets and encourages creative problem solving. When we launched CleanRouter, we had to adapt our strategies frequently to meet customer needs and stay competitive. This constant evolution kept us ahead of the curve. We were one of the first ones to really take the content filtering and scale it down to something that was easy enough for parents to use. So Steve Jobs admired how startups could change direction swiftly, which he believed was crucial for success. Now, startups also allow you to build a diverse skill set. Working at a startup often means being involved in multiple different parts of the business, from development to marketing to customer service. Now, being this diverse exposure helps you to build a well-rounded skill set that is really valuable in the job market. I know as I've gone out and talked with folks about being a fractional CTO, one of the things they love is my background in the startup world. And at CleanRouter, I gained experience in areas I never would have touched in a traditional role. At the time, in 2009, when I began to learn Linux was very immature. Now it's very mature, and so this has been a huge benefit to my career over time. But at the time, I had to be self-taught and learn Linux. There wasn't Udemy courses on Linux. There wasn't very simple ways to do it. So it really just took a lot of work and hacking to get it done. But this breadth of knowledge really made me more versatile and adaptable in my career path. Steve Jobs valued this type of broad skill set both as he employed people, as he hired people, and as he picked some of those who were nearest to him. And then he himself also really embodied a lot of those. Now, startups also will build a very close-knit team environment. Startups usually have smaller teams, and that fosters a close-knit and collaborative work environment. This setting allows for stronger relationships and better communication among team members. When I've built my first companies, a small team felt like a family, and a lot of these, we work together towards a common goal. This camaraderie boosts morale and productivity. Steve Jobs believed that these strong interpersonal connections were vital for building a cohesive and motivated team. And a lot of Steve Jobs' original close founders have actually stayed with the company or moved on into bigger things, but they all valued their time working with Steve Jobs. Now, in a startup, one of the other advantages is you can have a very direct impact and it's very visible. In a startup, every single person's contribution is visible and directly impacts the company's success. This level of accountability and recognition is highly motivating. When you see your efforts translate into a tangible result, it fuels your passion and drive. Rather than just feeling like you're a cog in the wheel, you know that every little bit you do in a startup is important and that it really matters. And so each team member's work is critical and crucial to the achievement of the company. which then makes everybody feel valued. Steve Jobs appreciated how startups allowed individuals to see the immediate effect of their work, driving a sense of purpose and accomplishment. Now, startups also allow you to be more innovative and creative. Um, one of our core values at CleanRouter was do more with less. Startups strive and thrive on innovation and encourage out of the box thinking. There are fewer bureaucracy hurdles. If you can get it done, just get it done. This allows creative ideas to flourish. Now, in my companies, we've constantly experimented with new features and approaches to try to stay ahead of the market. This innovative culture helps keep the work exciting and dynamic. And Steve Jobs was a strong advocate for innovation, believing that startups are the breeding ground for revolutionary ideas. He used to walk down into this company where they were innovating and would catch people late at night working hard and would dig into what they were working on. This is another thing we see with Elon Musk all the time. Now, another great advantage of being in a startup is risk-taking and resilience. The startup environment inherently involves taking risks and learning from failures because a lot of startups fail. This experience builds resilience and stronger entrepreneurial spirit. So in my past companies, we've faced numerous challenges and setbacks, but each one taught us a valuable lesson and made us more resilient in the long run, which is part of the reason that the company still exists 15 years later. Embracing failure as part of the journey is crucial for long-term success. Steve Jobs emphasized the importance of taking risks and learning from failures as their essential components for growth. Now, next is everybody at a startup has to take ownership and responsibility. Startups often provide opportunities for greater ownership and responsibility over projects and decisions. A lot of times a single project will go to just one person, and decisions have to be made on the fly and quickly. And so this empowerment leads to higher job satisfaction and a sense of pride in one's work. Now, in small startups I've seen, that they have to have an autonomy to make key decisions, and this was incredibly fulfilling. It allows members of the team to take full ownership of their success and learn from mistakes. Steve Jobs believed that giving employees ownership over their work fostered a deeper commitment and drive to excel. Now, if you're going to work for a startup, you really kind of have to have an entrepreneurial mindset. Even if you're not the main entrepreneur who owns the business, working in a startup cultivates an entrepreneurial mindset, encouraging you to think like a business owner. This perspective is valuable whether you stay in a startup or whether you move to a larger organization. As startups that I've seen and taught and worked with and mentored, they're always thinking about growth strategies. It's one of the huge things about startups. It's always about growth, customer acquisition, and then also thinking about product development. And this entrepreneurial thinking prepares you for leadership roles in new ventures. Steve Jobs saw the entrepreneurial mindset as a key driver of innovative and success, as he would give projects to people like the iPod and then the iPhone and on to other things. We saw a lot of that entrepreneurial mindset that was put into these. Now, lastly, we're going to talk a little bit about networking and opportunities. Startups often operate with a vibrant ecosystem that provides ample networking opportunities. Building relationships with other entrepreneurs, learning from investors, and industry experts can open doors to future opportunities. There's a lot of different groups out there, and I would definitely encourage you, especially if you're an entrepreneur or a small company, to get out and network with other people who are in the same stage of company that you are. I know that when I started CleanRouter, we connected with a lot of influential figures in the tech community, as well as the network community, which really helped us to grow and to succeed. Networking is a crucial aspect of career development. Steve Jobs understood the power of a strong network and how it can propel you to career forward. He used to often call people to come out to his Palo Alto home and go for walks with him. That was kind of his ways of networking. I don't think he hit up a lot of networking events, but he definitely invited people outside of his circle in to come in and go on walks with him. I think that was really one of his big MOs. So in conclusion, Steve Jobs' insights on working for startups and how to work at a startup highlight the incredible benefits and growth opportunities that can come with it. With 25 years of development experience, I've seen firsthand how these principles play out in real life and how they can help you as a developer. So whether you're considering joining a startup, or whether you work for a large corporation, or whether you're thinking about launching your own, the journey promises to be challenging and rewarding. Startups are definitely challenging, so if you're not ready for a challenging thing, you might not want to take on a startup, and that's okay. But just know that you can, as you dig into that, there's a ton of lessons that you can learn. Now, I'm going to always continue to bring you more insights and discussions here at StartupHakk, and I love having good, healthy discussions. So make sure to leave your comments down below, even if it's just to say hi. And make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We try to bring you valuable content. If you also check out some of our other videos, we do a lot of programming videos. So maybe you're non-technical and you want to learn how to code. We bring a ton of different coding tutorials. So here at StartupHakk, we love to train software developers in our coding boot camps and to build custom software solutions for companies. So reach out and we'd love to help. Hit the links down below and we'll catch you guys next time. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel because we bring you lots of great tutorials and tips that every developer should know. See you next time.